All right, now, these are the principles that I really want to talk about. And we're going to back this all up and talk through some film and whatnot on this later as well. But these are kind of the nuts and bolts of what we believe in. So the program that I took over, I'm originally from Chicago, moved to the Carolinas in the States, was there for about 13 years, right around Clemson. Completely different type of athlete, going from the Midwest to the Deep South, totally different situation. Then I take a job out by Boise, and I get there and totally different animal again, okay? We are absolutely slow, okay? We are the least athletic team in our league. We are the smallest team in our league. The way they have it in Idaho, anybody from 660 up to 1,300 is 4A. We have 710 kids. 660 is the enrollment of the school, yep. So, and they count boys, girls, alternate school kids, kids that got 3 legs, can't walk, talk, and chew gum, you name it. They all count, right? Okay? So we are the smallest 4A school in the state. Then they got the bright idea that there wasn't enough schools in that classification, so they allow people to petition down. So now we have to play schools with 1,300, 1,400, 1,500, 1,600 kids. So almost every week we're lining up and playing people that are twice our enrollment. So we've got 90 out for football. They might have 150, okay? And so quite honestly, we get there the first year, we're trying to do all the things we did in the South, and we absolutely got smoked, okay? We won 1 game that first year. So we had to retool some things, and this list is what you see we've done since then, okay? Now these are big overarching principles, and then I'll show you film of it here in a few minutes. The first one is physical football, okay? I run our weight room. That's my job. That's what the school employs me to do. I run weightlifting all day. We have 99% of our football team is in weights during the school day. It is not optional. We tell them, if you want to play football, you'll take weights, you'll take it with me, you'll be in the class, you'll sign up both semesters. We had a couple people that viewed that as a democratic principle of I might be allowed to do it. We had to reinform them. It is a dictatorial principle. You do not have that option, okay? And they quickly found their way out of our program. That was the first thing we had to do. So we had to come in and say, if you're not going to do things our way, if you're not going to commit, you got to go, okay? And so we had to cull the herd, and we got some people out of there who just would not do things we wanted. They like to tell the teacher to go to hell. They like to cut class. They like to do drugs. They like to do all the things we don't want them to do. We had to get those people out, okay? And that's the biggest thing that changed. Then we could start getting physical. And everybody talks about, well, it's all about how big you are. Well, I'm the smallest size school in my classification, and I got the smallest kids in my classification. And I tell people all the time, we will never win a track meet, okay? We're going to lose every track meet we enter, but we're going to win every bar fight that we get in. That's the type of kids we have. Probably some of the type of kids you have. They're a little bit physical, they're a little bit rough around the edges, they're willing to compete, they're just not very athletic. So we decided, and we actually branded that, right? We put it on t-shirts, we put it on hats. We talk about every single Friday night when you play us, we're going to be super physical with you. We're going to physically beat up the opposition. You'll see that. Number 2, we believe in something called surface changes. People talk about changing formations. That's not what we mean. People talk about changing personnel groupings. That's not what we mean. We mean the entire apparatus of changing how the offense presents to the defense. So what I mean by that is we'll come out with 1 tight end on the field, okay? But we'll line up in 10P, 11P, 12P, 21P, 13P, 14P, okay? And that really goes down into number 3. We believe in a principle that we call all-11 football. It means everybody out there has to be cross-trained to do everybody else's job because everybody has more players than I do. So my tight end knows how to play, theoretically, running back. Now, he ain't never going to get the ball handed to him, okay? But theoretically, he knows how to do it, okay? He knows how to play split end. He knows how to play tight end. He knows how to play slot. My slot knows how to play split end. My slot knows how to play running back. We cross-train everybody. Because if we cross-train them, we immediately increase depth. We've got more people than it looks like we have, okay? So when we talk about surface changes and we talk about cross-training, you're going to see on here, all of a sudden we go from 2 receivers on each side to 2 tight ends. Well, the 2 tight ends are 2 of the wide receivers that have been cross-trained how to block, okay? We don't have the luxury of having good enough players or enough players that we're going to specialize and say you only do this and you only do that, okay? So that's a big part of it. We are anti-KISS. Everybody talks about, okay? And it's this big cliche, right? Keep it simple, stupid. Oh my God, we want to be simple. We want to be simple. We want to be simple. Everybody keeps talking about it. My question is why? Why do you want to be so simple? What are you getting out of it? What are your kids getting out of it? We tell our kids that's selling you short. We don't want to be simple. We can't be simple. Everybody we play is better than us. So if we keep it simple, we're going to keep getting our ass kicked. Okay, we can't do that. We've got to cross-train guys, and we've got to give them more things to do. We got to put more on their plate. Okay, so we just absolutely reject that idea, and we tell our guys that's not a thing. You're going to have to learn more. You're going to have to dive deeper into the well, and you're going to have to become more football IQ. You're going to have to become more football savvy. We believe in having a QB-centric offense. He runs the show, and we treat him essentially like a coach. We bring him in every Thursday morning. Every Thursday morning, they have a 45-minute meeting with me starting in January and going all the way till we start spring practice. We'll be out at spring practice next month. We can start practicing in April. Now, we can only practice 5 times. Then we can practice 5 times in May. And then once summer hits, we can't put on pads, but it's basically every man for himself. We can kind of do whatever we want, okay? So we bring them in every Thursday, and we teach them something. We come in and we go, okay, we're going to read a C-gap. Okay, we're going to read an RPO. All right, we're going to talk about how to kill a play at the line of scrimmage and check to something else. We're going to do something different every Thursday and give them little pieces of it. And you'll see here, we just graduated a quarterback that was pretty special. He went 20-11 as a starter, won back-to-back league titles, played for a state championship. We put a lot on him. He processed things at a really high level. He may not be the best athlete in the state, but he's very cerebral. And you'll see that he gets us in and out of things and does a really good job. Number 6, we want to ruin the defensive coordinator Sunday. We talk about it all the time. We want to run as many formations, as many personnel groupings, as many tags as we can because we want him to be very vanilla when we get to the game Friday. We don't want him to have a lot of options and a lot of answers. So 2 years ago in the quarterfinals, team that had to play us had to come from 8 hours away. Idaho's like Canada, right? You got to drive places. Very, very sparse between the cities. So these guys get there, they get stuck in a snowstorm, so they're already pissed off, okay? And they get there and they get off the bus, and the DC goes, Coach, how many formations did you run in the first round of the playoffs last week? And I said, 8? He goes, we found 29 distinct personnel changes, and then we found 45 different formational changes. And he said, I've got a damn Bible here of plays drawn up. He said, I spent my entire Sunday charting and charting and charting. And I said, well, that really sucks for you because I said, all that stuff you saw, you ain't going to see none of it tonight. It's going to be all new. And we talk about letter grade, right? We think our talent is probably a C. We think we're a C letter grade of athletic ability. This school is an A. They've played for 9 state championships in the last 17 years. We beat them by a point. We had no business beating them. Okay, but they literally could not figure out what we were doing. And you'll see some of their clips on here. All right, Coach, go ahead.